Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's Tip of the Week episode. I'm your host, Lori Palau. So happy that you're here. Happy January. Listen, if you've made it this far, guys, and you're still listening and you are committed to sticking to your goals or resolutions, you are ahead of the curve because I think it's like 3 weeks is the national standard cutoff where most people fall off the wagon of whatever goals or resolutions. So if you're still with it, then kudos to you guys. I'm so happy that you're here. Just a reminder that today's episode and all the episodes this month on our tip of the week and our regular Thursday episodes are brought to you from our friends over at the Digital Wrangler. We have partnered with them to help you get your digital life in order. And Kate has a ton of different resources available to you, but we are specifically focusing in on her foundations course. That's what we're highlighting and showing to you. I've done it in my own life. I've shared it with my immediate family. Focuses on 12 key areas. Not all of them might be relevant to you, but it's like everything from passwords to household to financial to medical, you name it. There's business succession planning if you're an entrepreneur. There's, I believe, a parent section for, if you need stuff for your kids. And it really allows you to corral all of the important information and resources, key people, key players, financial planners, insurance companies, all of your important documents under one central place. And then you can, if you're like me with grown adult children, you can share this information with them, or you could print it out and like leave it in your safe and say, here's all the stuff. If God forbid something happens, here's all the passwords. Here are the people that you need to contact for financial planning, insurance, medical, whatever. But just having all of that information in one place is so important. And there's never a good time to do this planning. So I always say just pick a time and start. And today's a great day. And so to learn more, just go to thedigitalwrangler.com/TOL for this organized life. And you can get 10% off your foundations course. And again, she also has a bunch of other free resources. So definitely check that out. Now, today we are wrapping up our little New Year's resolution by Enneagram type mini series for our tip of the week. And if you haven't gone back and listened to the other episodes, go back and listen. They're quick. They're like under 15 minutes. And I group them by each of the dominant centers. So we know we use thinking, feeling, and doing to make our decisions. The Enneagram is a framework that I use that is used internationally, and it's a ancient framework that looks at our unconscious motivations of why we do what we do. And there's a correlation between our Enneagram types and how we relate to clutter and organization. And I always talk about clutter being another word for conflict. And if we can improve our communication, it reduces the conflict in our life, and it reduces the relational conflict. It reduces the physical clutter in our lives, gives us more margin and more peace. And ultimately, I think that's what we're all after. And so we looked at the eights, nines, and ones, the twos, threes, and fours. And today we're going to round out with our thinking types, which are our Enneagrams 5, 6s, and 7. So our Enneagram Fives, they are known as the observer or the investigator. And again, their unconscious motivation has to do with knowledge, craving all of that knowledge. They feel that their worth is tied to how knowledgeable they are in a subject. And so they will oftentimes spend a lot of time in research, in analytics. Now, data and information is really important. But for Enneagram Fives, they oftentimes struggle with execution. So that they are thinking about it, they are planners, but the execution piece is the hardest thing. So for the resolution that I'm going to challenge our Enneagram Fives to do is to pick one thing that they have been kind of milling about starting and saying, okay, I'm researching this, and not pulling the trigger. It could be something about scheduling. It could be something as, I don't want to say trip because it's not trivial, but something as small as scheduling a doctor's appointment or getting something fixed on your car or something in your business or even starting a business and saying, I'm going to actually jump in and do it. I'm going to try it. Even if I don't have all the information, even if I don't have all the facts. And that is scary. Now, we're going to be starting our cohort in February for our professional organizers, which are people that want to start a professional organizing business, or if you've just started one, but you really need some business guidance and support, that's who that's geared for. And I see people who are Enneagram Fives that are afraid to actually put themselves out there. And they've been researching starting a business and getting all the information, but they haven't actually like put it out there on social media, or they haven't told people about it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I want you guys to just rip that Band-Aid off and just let people know. They're the opposite of the threes who just go in and worry about it later, or the eights. The fives are overthinkers. So we want to actually move into action. So that's what that's the goal. That's the challenge for your Enneagram Fives. Now, your sixes are also thinkers, but they're your worst case scenario thinkers. They're your what if, like the sky is falling thinkers. And so the challenge or the resolution for our six, and they're known as the loyalists. Sorry, don't want to not say that. So the sixes are known as the loyalists. And again, they don't trust themselves. That's one of the biggest things. And so for the sixes, the challenge is I want them to unapologetically make a decision about something and just have peace with that. Now, that seems really like a big, tall order. One of the biggest, most recurring common questions, or not questions, but comments that I get from sixes is thank you for giving me permission to get rid of something. I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day who I suspect is an Enneagram Six. I don't know for sure because you're not supposed to type other people, but I suspect she is. And we were talking, she's actually lost a bunch of weight. And we were talking about that. And she has clothes that are from when she was heavier. And I said, there's no reason to be holding on to them anymore. And it's not even about the money. She knows that they're in good shape. And I said, them taking up space in your closet is just as, is just as bad as just, throwing them into a landfill. A lot of times people don't want to get rid of things because they think it's just going to end up in a landfill. And I say, your closet is the landfill right now, essentially. So even though you need to get rid of them because chances are you're not going back up to the size that you once were, and you don't even know if the stuff's going to be in style or you would want to wear it, it's time to just donate them. And you can donate them to Dress for Success or another great organization if you like, if you don't have somebody specific in mind. And she's like, I know this. I just need to hear it from you. So sixes, I want you to have that conversation with yourself. And if you need to have an outsider, there's no shame in it, but I want you to actually take action on that thing, whatever that thing is. And for my friend, it was the clothes in her closet. And I'm sure there's something that you sixes are holding on to, and deep down inside that it's the right decision to get rid of it, but you're just waiting for that air quote right time or that a surety, because in the back of your mind, you have that what if always hanging over your head. And so I want you to say, you know what? I'm going to trust that if I get rid of this, it will be okay. And that's hard. So I hear you. I honor that, but that's my tough love challenge for my sixes. Now the sevens are known as the enthusiast, and they are your glass half full, life of the party, let's just hop in the car and go on a road trip kind of person. And one of the common clutter traps that I see our sevens fall into is they have lots of hobbies and interests. And because of that, they oftentimes accumulate a lot of things relating to those said interests, whether it was I was into this hobby. And so I accumulated, I was into candle making. So I accumulated all of this stuff about candle making. Or maybe I was into making jewelry and I have all of this stuff. But what happens is notoriously these interests will run their course. And so the stuff will remain, right? The stuff that we accumulated remains. And our sevens aren't necessarily as emotionally attached to the stuff, the beads, the candle making wax, or whatever it is, the wicks, but they don't want to spend the time that it takes to go through it or get rid of it. And so I'm going to challenge my Enneagram sevens to pick one of these hobbies, because you may have a lot and the thought of doing all of them can be really overwhelming, but pick one, at least to start, and say, what is one category that I have accumulated that I know I'm not going to be using in 2025. And I don't think I'm going to be using it in the future. I don't see myself using it. Pick one category and commit to getting rid of, donating, or recycling, whatever it looks like, that category of things. And what that might mean is you're going to have to slow down for a minute. You're going to have to do the boring work, right? Because the decluttering and the organizing, unless you're a weirdo like me, who loves this stuff and gets excited and jazzed up about it. Most people don't look forward to spending an afternoon, decluttering a basement storage area or a closet. But if you are not going to hire a professional organizer to do it, then I'm challenging my sevens to say, okay, here's the category. I'm not into this anymore. I thought I was going to be, I thought I was going to really be into, hiking, but I'm not. So I'm going to take all my hiking stuff and I'm going to donate it. And that's your New Year's resolution, is to pick one category and go with it. There you have it, guys. We've run through in the past 3 weeks a speed dating round of our Enneagram and clutter resolutions. If you want to learn more about any of our Enneagram framework, check out the link below in our show notes. We've got our Enneagram and clutter cheat sheet. It'll link you to, if you download that, it'll put you kind of down onto our rabbit hole of Enneagram information. So if you want to learn more about how you can use this tool to help you understand yourself better, understand the people in your life better, if you are a professional organizer, understand your clients better, we've got a lot of resources, both live teaching, digital downloads, workbooks, you name it. And I think it's a great tool to have in your toolbox to understand how people see the world, how people view clutter, why some people thrive and other people struggle in certain areas, and how you can have grace with yourself and the people in your life. So I hope you have found this little quick mini series helpful, and we'll be back next Monday with another tip of the week. So until then, I'm Lori Palau. Peace out.